nice introduction. And I want to thank the staff, the committee that invited me to talk to you this morning on issues that are very, very important to all of us. I want to thank my friend, Steve Williams, a friend, a freedom fighter, former colleague, former boss at Columbia College, to give me a personal invitation to this institution. And some of you don't know Steve, and some of you who do, you know that, you find out that he's a very, very fine fellow, important in the things that he believes in, and he's a straight-up guy. Tell you what you need to hear, don't always tell you what you want to hear. But that's the type of person and people we need in today's society. But foremost, I am so honored to speak before this fine group of people in the institution that you represent, Veterans Association. Veterans are, I believe, are true heroes, the true people that make this country move. Of course, we have other individuals and other groups. But when we talk about veterans and the staff members who keep them moving and operating, we're talking about the real heroes of our society. You know, a lot of people like to say, well, this football player is a hero, or this basketball player is a hero, or this politician. No, they're not real heroes. They're masquerading as heroes. The real heroes are the men and women who have protected our country, protected the ideas that we believe in, that tried to force our society to live up to the promises that we hold dear. These are the people who have put their lives on the line for us to have and to live in a greater state. You know, the Bible talks about that the greatest love that one has is when one puts their life on the line for another. That's the greatest love, all right, to have. And when you have people who's willing to do this, you have to take off your hats to. You have to honor them. You have to look at them and tell them every day, thank you. So it's a wonderful feeling that I have. It's a wonderful element that you give to me and allowing me to speak to you. Because speaking to this group, I'm speaking to the best that our society has to offer. The best that our society gives. The most intelligent, the best equipped. When we talk about the military, we're also talking about the concepts that the military represent. Wonderful concepts. The concept of fairness, protection, preservation. The concept of doing the right thing or trying to do the right thing at all times. These are the ideas that we uphold, and these are the ideas that I taught to each and one of us who may go to Sunday school, if it's the Baha'i or the Muslims or Christians or Jews. This is what is taught to us. Sometimes when we talk about the military, we speak in a way that is not always nice. So many people misunderstand the work of our veterans. They misunderstand the work that these service people do. They misunderstand that they're there to help us. But you know, in order to deal with this misunderstanding, in order to give a new light to this, we have to look at history. History. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. The history of African Americans. Where African Americans within the service. How African Americans are connected or are in the service with the great leaders of such people as Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Now you see, about Dr. White, that's a heck of a thing. How are you going to make this connection? I don't understand. I read all the books, but you haven't heard me speak. All right, I'll make this connection for you. All right, because, you know, I like to say, like all of us, that we're extraordinary. And some of my students say, well, Dr. White, man, how do you get all this stuff to us? And before I took your class, I didn't like history. And I say to them, it's because I'm an extraordinary professor. All right? That's my job. That's what I'm supposed to do. And I love it. So we're going to look at blacks, African Americans, within the service, and how their work helped to create better relationships between the races within our country. And take it one step farther, how they have helped to create better relationships with our country overseas. Now, how is this? Now, I understand that this is economics, and that's the theme that you want to talk about. I can talk about such great people as Paul Cuffe, who was brought up in the American Revolutionary period. For some of you who may not know him, he was the first real black millionaire in this country in the colonial period. And how he argued and maintained in Boston, Massachusetts, that listen, yes, I'm doing well, but myself and my friends and my colleagues, people who look like me, have no representation. So he argued the same thing as the other patriots argued, and that is no taxation without representation. And now how did he build his mansion? How did he build his empire? One of the things he did, he started trading. Sometimes when we look at trading, we think of trading items for black people as a 20th century phenomenon. How wrong we are. This guy, Paul Cuffe, along with his brother, he was trading items all along the eastern seaboard, right on down to Georgia, right into the Caribbean.